guys, welcome to another episode of Rated Rachel, where I, Rachel, share my unsolicited opinions and thoughts about movies and TV shows that I love. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my 10 recommendations for Nollywood films that you can watch on Netflix. Now, this video was requested by Love Bibi for Life, so thank you, Bibi, for sending in your request. I do appreciate you. Now, if you want to see more of this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification bell so that anytime I post videos, you'll be the first to know. Now, a lot of people have the assumption that Rachel does not like Nigerian films because I don't know. I don't know why, but the truth is I do like Nigerian movies and I do love Nigerian art. Hell, I'm a Nigerian, so I should. And I started to pick up interest in Nigerian movies back in 2012 to 2014 when movies like Ije, The Figurine, Half of a Yellow Sun, Stronger Than Pain came out, and you know, all the key actors and actresses of those different movies, they sort of killed their roles, and even the cinematography and the plot and the storyline of the movies just went different than what we normally expect in a Nigerian movie. So anyways, this is my 10 recommendations of Nollywood films that you can find on Netflix. So let's dive in. Now, these movies I'm going to be sharing with you are going to sort of be in no particular order. Even though I do have a favorite, I will just give them numbers. When I'm done telling you the name of the movie, I'm explaining what the movie is all about. I'm going to give you a rating of how I see the movie in my eyes. So probably based on my rating, you can determine which of the movies that you should probably see first. First on my list is LIONHEART, and this was actually acted and produced by Genevieve Inaji, who is a super multi-talented Nollywood actress, and it also featured acts by Peter Dochi, Onyeka Owenu, Fino, and the delectable, the wonderful Ikem Owo. Ikem Owo is always a darling, and Kanayo Kanayo also featured in the movie as well. And this movie actually addressed the story of a modern Eastern Igbo family who are into the transportation business. They got into bankruptcy, and so the daughter Adaeze is on a mission to try to wiggle themselves out of that debilitating circumstance. And I love this movie so much because she showed different aspects of different cultures. She showed aspects of the northern culture and the eastern culture, and how that these two parts can actually work together to achieve a certain goal. Now, there were aspects of the movie that were quite exaggerated in terms of some actual facts and figures. I felt like it was not done too detailed, but overall, in terms of story, in terms of the lessons and the powerful lesson that you can pick up from the story about family, relationships, about sticking together in troubling times, I'll say this movie was a win-win for me. The movie also has elements of comedy, suspense, and even thriller, and I did enjoy the fact that they even featured a cameo appearance for P Square. I don't know, and one of the P Squares one of the P's in P Squares was also featured in it. So for my rating, I'm gonna give this movie 8 over 10 because I really did enjoy it, and it's Genevieve, and I feel like she really did an amazing job with this movie. So moving on to number 2. Number 2 on my list is Isoken, directed by Jade Oshiberu, and it's a romantic comedy drama acted by Dakore Egbusi-Akonde, Mark Rees, Joseph Benjamin, Tina Mba, Patrick Doyle, Jennifer aka Funke Akindele, and many other A-list actors and actresses as well. And it tells the story of a lady in her mid-30s who is searching for love and has to defy cultural values and cultural, all those things that put people in cultural introspection. I really did love this movie because it shows some aspects of color, it shows some aspects of fun. It was really, I feel like it was such a cheesy romantic comedy drama. I hadn't laughed so hard before I watched it, and it was really cool to see. The main act finally meets this Oyibo guy who she finally falls in love with, and when she falls in love with him, everything goes downhill from there. And comedy effects were on point. It was colorful, it was beautiful in terms of, it was just a good romantic story. What's not to love? So I'd rate it an 8 over 10. Yes, I'm very stingy with my 2 over 10, so I rate it an 8 over 10 because it really touched me. Number 3 on my list is My Wife and I, and it was acted by Omoni Oboli and Ramsey Noah. Omoni Oboli is such a good actress, I'd say. She does have range. I remember the first movie I saw her in was actually Anchor Baby back in 2010, and she really did a very great job with that movie because she acted the role of a pregnant woman. But we're not talking about Anchor Baby, we're talking about My Wife and I. And My Wife and I tells the story of a couple who have marital issues, and they sort of like, one day they wake up and they found that they've sort of like exchanged bodies. And I really love the fact that I was seeing such kind of movie in a Nigerian setting, because I'm usually used to seeing such things in Hollywood. So it was so funny, and the fact that both of the actors, that is Ramsey Noah and Omoni, acted their roles like very well. It was so hilarious, it was so funny to watch. And the fact that there was also like elements of magical realism to the story, it was really interesting. So talk about comedy infused with magical realism and fantasy. So I will rate this movie 9 over 10. Yes. The fact that it's fantasy and there's magical realism in it, 9 over 10, because you know how I love my fantasies. The next movie on my list is Elevator Baby, directed by A.K. Mason. I mean, this movie was the bomb, and it was acted by Timini Egbuson and Tony Abraham. So as the title of the film says, Elevator Baby actually tells the story of a lady who gives birth in an elevator, and the baby has to be delivered by a boorish, annoying man who is used to being spoiled all his life. And what I liked about this movie was the fact that they were able to take us into the emotions that each character was feeling in terms of the tension. I was really feeling tense, and the fact that they were able to pull this elevator scene off. And I did see the outline of how they built the sets and how they built up how they achieved the compression and the looks, the color codes. Everything was really planned. And for the CGI, it's not the best, but I mean, we did a good job. Nigeria for the win. And for the fact that both Timini and Tony won an AMVCA for this movie goes to tell you how good they portrayed the character that they were meant to play in that movie. And Shafi Bello was too much. I mean, I really loved I don't want to give you guys any spoilers, but this movie is really, really cool to watch. And yes, it's on Netflix, and it's something that you should check out. So for my rating for this movie, Rated Rachel is gonna give this movie 9 over 10. Yes, 9 over 10. Number 5 on my list is Love is War, directed by Omoni Oboli. And I must say, this is such a beautiful political romance drama that talks about the life of a female politician who is on the verge of running for governor in her husband's state of origin. However, comes in contact with a lot of backlash from people of that state. And this movie sort of like gives us an insight into what it's like for women who are delving into politics and delving into political affairs, especially in Nigeria, and the challenges that they face both on the forefront and at home. And she acted alongside Richard Mofe Damijo, who is super amazing, by the way. And it was such a beautiful movie. I would definitely recommend every single person to watch it. If you're a feminist, you have to watch this movie. And yes, we should all be feminists. And I'm gonna rate this movie 9 over 10 because it was that good. This is one of Omoni Oboli's projects that I can say she really brought her A game, and she really did an amazing job at it. So yes, I'm gonna rate it 9 over 10. Number 6 movie on my list is The Arbitration, which was acted by Osi Ukeje and the delectable Adesoa Etomi, my home girl. I just love that girl so much, and I love Osi as well. And it talks about the life of two people who get involved in a relationship, in an affair, and unfortunately for them, they break up, and the girl goes ahead to accuse him of rape. And so the arbitration is sort of like it exposes what women do when they get like met with situations that does not work in their favor. For example, the relationship broke up, it didn't work, and they were actually working in the same office, and at the end of the day she had to accuse him of rape, which we don't know whether it is true or not. And it just goes to tell you that there is what you know, there is what somebody else is telling you, and there's the truth. So whose side are you going to believe? And it just goes to show that women have some sort of power, especially when it comes to the stereotypes levied by society against us. So we know that women are the ones who get raped, and it's possible for such thing to be misused and used to accuse someone else. So yeah, this movie sort of like gives you some perspective about what that kind of life is like. And interestingly, this movie didn't have a lot of traction, and I guess it's one of those movies that is so serious, and most Nigerians don't like serious things. You know, okay, maybe a good number of Nigerians don't like serious things. I won't say most. A good number of Nigerians don't like serious things. They just want to relax and have fun, and you know, that's why they like prefer feel-good, family-friendly movies. So yeah, so that's my recommendation for number 6. Number 7 is the movie Banana Island Ghost, which actually came out in 2017, and was acted by Chioma Omerua, also known as Chigol, and it had the likes of Saheed Balogun, Aka Inani, and Tina Imba in the movie. And it tells the story of a plus-size girl who is constantly getting into trouble, and at the end of the day, as she grows older, she falls into some sort of debt. As a result, she almost loses her father's house, and she's struggling to try to raise the money to get the house back from the bank. Now, unfortunately for her, there is a guy who gets into an accident on Third Mainland Bridge, and is given 3 days by God for him to fall in love or find someone that will fall in love with him, because he never got the chance to. And the reason why I love this movie is because it's sort of different from the normal conventional Nigerian movies that we usually watch and see, and is even acted by the guy is acted by Patrick Dikwa, I guess. And interestingly, his name in the movie is also Patrick, and he also featured in God Calling as well, which is also an amazing movie, but it's not on Netflix, it's on Amazon Prime, so you can watch that as well. So Banana Island Ghost is really interesting, funny, got elements of comedy to it. The ending was quite unexpected, so yeah, it's a must watch, and I'll give it 7 over 10. The next movie on my list is the BLING LAGOSIANS, and I would say that this movie is sort of like a Nigerian Crazy Rich Asians, or a wannabe Crazy Rich Asians. Anyways, it talked about the lives of the 1% of the 1%, that is the elite members of society, and it tells the story of this rich family and how they've been dealing with their lifestyle, how they live their life, and suddenly they get into a case of bankruptcy due to their lavish lifestyle. And why I love this movie so much is because it treats actual challenges and circumstances that these rich people face, that, you know, the average person in society would not think that they do face. And it also exposes the importance of the choices that we make, and how the choices that we make affect the kind of lives that we would eventually live. So it's a learning curve. Let me say, it's a learning curve kind of movie, and I really enjoyed it, and it's fun to watch. It's got some comedic effects to it as well. Alex Okubo and Sharon Oja were just, you know, they really like made me have a good time. So this is a movie I'll definitely recommend, and I'll rate it 8 over 10. Number 9 on my list is The Royal Hibiscus Hotel. So if you're looking for a romantic comedy drama to watch, then this is the movie for you. It's acted by Kenneth Okolie, Zainab Balogun, and it's got the likes of Deyemi Okalawan, Jide Kosoko, Rachel Niga, and the amazing Lala Akindoju. And this movie, of course, like every romantic story, it has a boy and a girl, they fall in love, and everybody's happy. So this is the kind of movie that you watch, you know, you just want to stretch your feet out, take a glass of wine, sip it, and, you know, just have a good time. So if you've never watched any Nigerian movie, you can start with The Royal Hibiscus Hotel and then scale down to the other movies as well. And last but not the least, number 10 is King of Boys. King of Boys is a political thriller drama which was directed by Kemi Adetiba, all hail the Queen, and was acted by veteran actress Shola Shobowale, featuring Adeswa Tommy, Wale, Sharon Oja, and Reminisce. Reminisce really killed his role in that movie. I mean, he got me shivering. I actually did believe that he was that kind of way. And amazingly, this story talks about the life of a political, would I say political, of an underdog philanthropist who, you know, she's been living this hidden lifestyle of corruption, and of those, she's got like a double life kind of situation going on. And the movie basically just exposes how that the choices that you make can affect, you know, your future. And she gets into some trouble, and along the way, just, you know, her life is thrown into some sort of shaking. There is an imbalance in her life, and things change. They are not the way she expected them to be. So everything sort of like turned around. And I forgot to mention, Tony Tones was also in the movie, and every single actor in this movie, they killed their role. And I'm gonna rate this movie 10/10 because yes, it's King of Boys. Every single actor, the plot, every single thing was just so damn amazing, and I really love this movie. So this is a movie that you should definitely spend some time watching. Now it's 3 hours long, so you need to really take your time to actually sit and watch this movie. King of Boys Part 2 is in the works, so they're definitely preparing to show us a Part 2 because of course they gave us some sort of cliffhanger at the end. So we're really hoping to see how the Part 2 is going to turn out. A note of warning though, I hope that the Part 2 doesn't end up like The Wedding Party 2, because The Wedding Party was awesome, but Wedding Party 2 was just one kind. But anyways, that's all for my recommendations of Nigerian film that you can watch on Netflix. And I do hope you find this video very helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Click that notification bell, turn on all notifications, just all, and like this video, share to somebody that you think would enjoy it, and I will see you in the next episode of Rated Rachel. Bye.